Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Spin Through podcast. As per usual, we're get right up in it. So, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash kind of do their thing. Not too much going on there. Ethereum, they're getting ready for some big upgrade soon. So the price, I don't know if that's a factor in why it's kind of yo-yoing in the mid to high 200s and not being able to cross that 300 threshold. But a little later I'll talk about the update, well, not really the update itself, but the testing and a little news for the update. Litecoin, it still kind of surprised me that it's maintaining this long at the price it's at. Future of Litecoin, who knows? I never really anticipated it to be actually this high, but it's been one of the best coins in not being super volatile, I'd say. So that's something. Well, only if you look at it like last 1-2 months. Monero is the dark web coin for now, and its price has not picked back up from where it was. A lot of other things are slowly crawling back up, but Monero still has about $40-ish to recover before it gets back up to its highs. And not really sure how long that'll take it, considering Bitcoin's like slowly crawling its way back up, but Monero seems like it's going at a way slower rate. Not sure really what's happening on that end. They're supposed to be having these Monero ATMs and stuff, and you'd expect that to kind of make it go higher, but who knows? Maybe a lot of the dark web start to use Zcash over Monero. I don't really know. I know people still use Bitcoin for some of it though, but whatever. Onto the news. We're not here to talk about illegal means, unless it's a big news. But Stiller in the Luxembourg House of Financial Technology has estimated that there's been over 1 billion earned by crypto ICOs, and by earned it means like funds raised by crypto ICOs. They warn that despite this, you should still have caution because the lack of regulation this environment has. 100% agree. ICOs have been really the flavor of the past months. I kind of relate them to akin when people were making just coins all the time in the past. All coins just popping up, people pumping and dumping their coins because they could just create whatever, and people would mine them and try to make them right. Or like the little period of time where multi-pools were like the thing for a few coins, and how they're really successful using multi-pools to boost up their own coins value. But in the end, these little gimmicks aren't sustainable. And just like that, these ICOs aren't sustainable at the rate they're kind of being thrown out, and how many quality. Related to that, Japanese billionaire Taizon Sun says ICOs are democratizing venture capital. 100% true, because how anyone and everyone can usually put some money into all these crypto ICOs, but that comes at the risk of them being terrible, which is why a lot of this regulation stuff is popping up. Overall, I know there's people who super hate this idea of a regulation, but I think there needs to be some kind of filter or some kind of process before people can just throw down the ICO. I don't think it should be like the current model of corporate IPOs. That's dumb for this I think it would slow it down too much. But I think there should be 100% some kind of a expectation of how every ICO should have like this amount of paperwork. Like these are like standard things that they should have. Like they should have like regular reporting for one. Be 100% transparent with where these funds are going. Kind of things like that. And have some kind of system in place for accountability so they can just pay themselves a little bit. Cash out, pay themselves, and just be like, oh, well, we couldn't make it happen. And just throw their hands up and leave. So, yeah. Next up on the news is Commissioner Brian Quintez from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission says he wants to see more Bitcoin technology appearing and talked about in his little Commodity Futures Trading Commission. This is a good thing for crypto. A lot of people kind of like they think that the acceptance is not there, it's not coming along, but it's slowly being more and more accepted over time. You can see from this example that people are really interested in the underlying technology. Even if people like Ray Dalio, who claims that Bitcoin is in a bubble, is too volatile and doesn't have enough transactions to be considered currency. Who cares? People will be naysayers. But one thing that I don't really like is these naysayers always focus on Bitcoin itself. And personally, I understand that Bitcoin will be the main coin for years, possibly forever, a lifetime forever. But I think it's not a realization that Bitcoin will not be the only coin. It's not the only coin. Its volume will eventually be surpassed by either a single coin or a collection of coins, and it will be reduced to like 10% of the volume or 20% of the volume, not like the 50% it has now. It's an inevitability because all the transaction fees that Bitcoin has and the increasing prices making a bigger barrier entry, because not gonna have moving some low amount of you're not gonna be moving hundreds of dollars of Bitcoins when you're being like charged $6 in transaction fees, where you could do the same with Ethereum and only be charged like 30 cents. That adds up over time, and people aren't going to use it like that. So Bitcoin will probably be the most valued crypto for years, but this is definitely going to see less volume over time, because as new things pop up and probably Ethereum gets better, it's kind of like positioning itself as the 2.0, but will it remain that? No clue. And speaking of Ethereum, they're on a test network for the next hard fork, which will happen sometime in October, estimated at least. So I'll update you when the actual date is set, when they're gonna update the network. But for now, they're just testing it, seeing if they could kind of shift it without any problems. I don't anticipate it to be that big of a deal, considering Ethereum's team's usually pretty meticulous in what they do. There's always the chance of unforeseen problems, but I honestly think that they'll be all right on average. Like, I don't think it's gonna be too big of a deal, but we'll see. And today's True Talk Thursday is about having integrity. Why is that? Because I saw a tweet, and it was about a guy who says he has ICO, like, people who are creating ICOs offer him regularly offers to tweet about the ICO in exchange for Bitcoins. And I just thought, the fact that he revealed this and wasn't doing it, that's good. Why? Because there's a lot of people. You can tell there's a lot of celebrities now that are obviously getting compensated for their little advertisement of these ICOs. And I don't exactly understand. Well, I do understand these ICOs are trying to lean on other people's credibility to seem more legitimate. But if you're getting someone like, I don't know, Paris Hilton to endorse your thing, then I'm questioning your legitimacy, where you could have got someone with a little bit more background in crypto, or a little bit more, influence in the crypto sphere to co-sign you, rather than someone who's fit for the mass kind of market kind of deal, kind of the entertainment area. It just doesn't make sense. Crypto is still not the point where anybody who's on the internet will be putting money into it. It's still kind of people who are kind of knowledgeable about technology or finance who have the most interest in crypto. So I just believe anyone should really disclose if they're being compensated for any kind of advertisement. I mean, I gave that one guy free advertisement when he wanted me to talk about his book, because I thought his book had a decent amount of things for people who didn't know about, like, the qualifications they should be looking at for these ICOs. And I thought that was actually valuable. I didn't even have like an affiliate link. It was just a plain link. I just find it kind of disgusting when you have someone being compensated for their co-assignment of not only in ICOs but in anything, and they're not telling people who value their opinion that they're being compensated for this. Because in a situation like this ends up with people either losing money because you're greedy, or losing out on time, which is very valuable, or a worse situation. I mean, obviously, a lot of these ICOs can be flipped, and usually there's still profit, but still, it only takes one bad one to just ruin your name behind it too, because you were like, oh, this is amazing, this will be the greatest thing ever, and they end up being a total sham, and people lose tons of money. So yeah, just be careful about who you listen to. They might not be 100% with you. So that'll be the end of this podcast. See ya Monday. Share this podcast everywhere. That's how you help me out the most. Or throw some dollars in the Patreon. I'm gonna start posting Steam It posts, and for anyone who subscribes to the email list for the extra juicy show notes, they'll start Monday. Should have been already started, but I just noticed that people actually subscribe. So Monday, they'll be ready. So see you Monday.